Hi everyone, Kyrie here, and welcome back to part 8 of Little Izuku in the League of Villains by a tired and dead writer on AO3. The link will be in the description below. The next day was just Izuku happily scribbling away in his notebook, asking Tomura what the names of everyone's quirks were, including the ones Izuku hadn't gotten to meet: muscular, moonfish, and mustard. Lots of M's. The notebook was quickly filling, and Tomura promised to get him another when he finished the first one. It made Izuku feel warm inside, and he'd given Tomura as big a hug as he could to thank him. As dinner wrapped up, Izuku was once again sitting on the bar and waiting for everyone to be ready. Izuku, Compress called as he approached, holding something odd with straps and something that looked like a seat. This will make it so you're strapped to me, and you'll need to stay there while we're there, okay? I can do that, Izuku nodded, grinning. The next few minutes were spent with the 4 adults, if you even counted twice, collectively trying to figure out the harness while Izuku just watched with curious amusement. It ended up with Izuku sitting in a sort of kid holder backpack. He could see over Compress's shoulder, but his torso and butt were attached to a harness that Compress wore. The straps went around the man's waist and over his shoulders. "I'm a backpack," Izuku declared once he was all strapped in. "Yes, you are, little one," Compress laughed. "Are you ready, Twice?" "Let's go already." "No, we can't," Twice announced, making Izuku laugh. "I'll still be sending the Nomu," Tomura told Compress almost as an afterthought. "We'll release it on the opposite side of the forest from the stealth team to keep any students nearby focused on the Nomu." "As long as it doesn't disturb the plan," Compress said, nodding politely. "Here are your communication devices. Don't lose them," Tomura said, sending the adults warning looks. He even gave Izuku one, which made the child beam with delight. "Ready, little one?" Compress said as he settled his mask back in place, having removed it to put in the earpiece. "Ready," Izuku confirmed, putting his hands on Compress's shoulders. Without delay, they stepped into a swirling purple portal, and Izuku gasped as they ended up in a dark forest. Izuku couldn't see anyone. "Where are we?" he whispered. "There should be a clearing just ahead, and we'll jump in after Magne takes out Mandalay," Compress whispered back. Izuku nodded and said nothing, knowing quiet was best. Izuku waited quietly, occasionally fidgeting, but he grinned when he finally saw the telltale pink light of Magne's quirk. "What?" a female voice cried. "Mandalay," another voice yelled out. Compress sprinted forward to enter the clearing, and Izuku immediately caught sight of Magne pinning the telepathy hero with her magnet stick as Compress jumped out dramatically to stand by her side. "Aw, are these kitties not up to the task?" Compress teased. Izuku giggled. "Why, I thought they made doubly sure," someone said shakily. "A small boy with purple balls on his head? Why are there villains here?" "That looks like Midoriya," someone shouted. Izuku glanced at the speaker, a boy in a blue shirt glaring behind glasses. Izuku waved. "Hello," he beamed. "Mandalay is unconscious," Magne said smugly. "First objective complete." "How is everyone this evening? UA High School? Pro Heroes?" Compress asked, a hand waving extravagantly. He'd probably have bowed, but Izuku would have been tilted funny, so he didn't. "We are the Vanguard Action Squad of the League of Villains." There was Tomura's splash, a name drop. "The League of Villains? They have Midoriya?" a boy with a tail exclaimed. "Ah, we reverted him to the age of 7, Compress lied, hands swishing. "Such a cute little thing, isn't he? Not so dangerous now," Izuku giggled, clinging to the villain's shoulder. Can you believe how many friends I have? Izuku beamed at them. He tapped his chin, eyes wide, playing his distraction. Will you guys be my friends too? Midoriya, you have to get away from them, the glasses boy yelled, taking a single step forward. Release our leader. Release the child, a blonde hero, Pixie Bob demanded. She sprinted towards Compress and summoned a massive dirt monster as she went. But Compress jumped forward and tapped her. The dirt structure she controlled dissolved, falling back to the ground limply. Compress held up a blue marble that had once been Pixie Bob and jumped back towards Magne. Pixie Bob, Izuku exclaimed happily as Compress handed him a little marble to hold on to. Unfortunately for the heroes, it wasn't the Pixie Bob marble. It was a distraction marble. Quirk, earth manipulation. She can create anything out of the earth. Monsters, avalanches, pillars to escape. Such a cool quirk. Compress laughed. You see, this little one is the reason we're able to be here. No memories of anything above the age of 7. So innocent. Izuku smiled innocently to sell it, as if he had no idea what that meant or what Compress was lying about. The glasses boy looked devastated, the tail boy looked shocked, and the small one just fell backwards onto his butt. These were hero students? Like we'd let you use him, Tiger growled. He'll be coming with us. I don't think so, Magne grinned. Back up. Out of the forest behind them, Moonfish and Muscular appeared. Izuku only recognized them from Compress's and Tomura's descriptions, and he immediately decided he didn't like them. Mission. Such pretty flesh. Don't tempt me. I have a job to do. Moonfish begged and whined in his deep and ominous voice, mouth gaping open. Izuku didn't like the sound of that. Come on, let me at him already. Muscular cracked his knuckles. I want someone to pulverize. Izuku frowned at him. Kids, get to the camp. Inform Eraserhead of the situation. Izuku lit up immediately at Tiger's words. Oh, Eraserhead is an underground hero with the ability to erase quirks in his line of sight. He hates the media and avoids it religiously. He is best in ambushes and doesn't like drawn-out fights where he can't look at everyone at once. Izuku lists off loudly for all to hear. Very good, Izuku, Compress praised. Izuku then tapped Compress on the shoulder. Yes, we should send Muscular to fight Eraserhead. From what I have in my notebook, he most likely can't win against Eraserhead. I don't like Muscular. Can we make him go away? Izuku whispered in his ear. Compress laughed out loud. I like it, Izuku. Order away. Izuku beamed. Muscular, go and attack Eraserhead. Izuku pointed in the direction the frozen students had started towards. Avoid the students. The pro is the goal. The pro is the goal. No, Glasses Boy yelled. Muscular grinned. Yes, finally, a target of my own. He then bent his knees and launched forward. He was gone before any of the students moved. Tiger, let us, the tailboy started. No, run for the camp and trust Eraserhead will win. You know who's with him. Tiger threw a hand out protectively. I know who's with him. Vlad King is here too. Izuku laughed. Quirk is the ability to control his own blood. Did you know he can't bleed out? He's so cool, and he's super strong too. He can even harden his own blood to trap people. Midoriya, stop, the glasses boy ordered. Don't talk about heroes. Izuku frowned. Why? My friends said I could talk all I wanted. Don't you like me? Izuku sniffed dramatically, wiping his eyes as if there were tears. People tell me to shut up all the time, but my friends don't. That's right, Izuku, Magne said, grinning at the horrified hero student. See, just like I said, those bad people don't appreciate you. Izuku almost laughed, not expecting her to play along. Midoriya, I didn't mean it like that, the boy in glasses shouted. Go, I'll save Midoriya and my 2 comrades, don't worry. Tiger interrupted, teeth bared towards the 3 villains in Izuku. Moonfish. Izuku turned to the one Tomura said was slightly insane and definitely a cannibal. That hero's flesh is very bendy. The villain groaned in an odd way that Izuku didn't like. Why don't you start with him? Moonfish ejected his teeth, throwing them forwards with force, only to be smashed away by Tiger's blows. That seemed to kick the hero students into gear, and they charged away from the battle and into the forest. Izuku beamed. Good, they'd all be safe then. Well, all except the one Tomura wanted. Should we disengage? Has it been long enough? Magne said, looking over her shoulder. Also, take the hero, please, Compress. If she wakes up, she can contact everyone and ruin the plan. Compress reached out a hand and marbled the unconscious woman, switching them in his sleeve and handing a random other one to Izuku. Your quirk is so cool, Compress. Izuku beamed. Pretty, too. The man laughed. I'm glad you think so, little one. Izuku played with his marbles, but he looked away from the 2 marbles he now had just in time to see Tiger smash a fist into Moonfish's head. Moonfish slammed into the ground, almost definitely knocked out. Izuku couldn't help but smile a little. What a shame. Extraction team is done. We have the targets. Head to the retrieval point in the next 5 minutes. Dabi's voice came from Izuku's earpiece. Well, looks like we better retreat. Compress sighed dramatically, making sure Tiger could hear them. Moonfish is done for. Magne grinned, nodding. Back home we go, Izuku yelled, one hand pointing at the sky. Don't think I'll let you escape, Tiger said, charging them, and Izuku gave a fake gasp. I'm sorry, you can have my marbles. Izuku threw them as far as he could, both of them, and let them bounce and roll away in opposite directions. Tiger bounded for them, scooping them up, and glared as they all started to retreat into the dark forest. Compress immediately hopped into a tree, jumping delicately from one branch to the next. Izuku laughed happily all the while. Faster, faster, Izuku cried out in joy. Compress chuckled and then had to immediately dodge a massive ice wall covering their escape. Izuku gasped at the sheer power behind it, but then shrieked in surprise. Midoriya, Izuku looked down as Compress landed in a nearby tree and saw someone who looked like they had a candy cane on their head. Hello, sorry, me and my friends want to go home. Can you move your glacier? Izuku called down to him. He was standing with a brown-haired girl and a green-haired girl, probably a girl. The person was a frog. It's my friends and I, Izuku, Compress chided. Izuku nodded. My friends and I want to leave, Izuku corrected himself. They're villains. They stole you. They're not your friends, the brown-haired one yelled. Izuku frowned. They are my friends. They saved me, Izuku denied. Then he wiped his eyes and sniffed dramatically again. But the boy with glasses told me to shut up. He was mean. I don't want to be friends with him. You mean Ida? The brown-haired girl exclaimed. He's one of your best friends. Mura is my best friend. And Dabi. Izuku yelled. Let's go, Compress. Onward. Compress launched off the branch and headed over the ice. Izuku probably knew these UA students. They all knew his name, and the girl said he was friends with them. He'd ask Tomura. Nothing they said made sense. The Hero Course students are not as big a deal as I thought they'd be, Compress said nonchalantly. Izuku giggled. There's the meetup point. Izuku pointed to the small clearing. Compress headed right for it and landed lightly next to Dabi, Spinner, Toga twice, and the person Izuku assumed was Mustard. Compress unclipped the harness and slid Izuku down his back and set him down on his own 2 feet, and then marbled the harness. Izuku happily walked over to Dabi, who picked him up protectively. Muscular and Moonfish are taken care of. I didn't like them, Izuku said brightly. Magne is right behind us, so don't worry. Dabi laughed. Everything go according to plan then? Dabi smirked. Muscular and Moonfish's captures were not a part of the plan, Mustard said a little coldly. Yeah, but it was probably Izuku's plan. Izuku giggled at Dabi's words. Guys, we have a situation. Magne burst through into the clearing. Dabi's grip tightened on Izuku as 3 hero students burst out behind her. And Izuku gasped. It was the 3 from before, Glacier Boy, Frog, and the brown-haired girl. And they all stopped to stare at the villain group as Magne joined them. Oh, hi there. Izuku waved a little, then secured his hold on Dabi, arms wrapped around his shoulders tightly. Hey, 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 I know these kids, Twice exclaimed. Who are they? The red and white boy looked furious, and he took a single step forward before Dabi spoke. He adjusted Izuku in his hold. Close your eyes, Izuku. Okay, Dabi. Izuku hid his face in the man's shoulder obediently. Whatever the reason was, Izuku trusted him. Careful, Todoroki Shoto, Dabi's voice said silkily. Izuku felt one of Dabi's hands release him and heard the telltale sound of him lighting a dark flame. One wrong move, and the little one gets torched. Give him back, a croaking voice yelled. Deku is our friend, another girly voice yelled. I don't care about whatever you did to make him like that or how you're using him. Deku's one of us, and he will always be. Izuku cringed into Dabi, tightening his hold on the man's shoulders. Shh, Dabi patted his hair. Izuku, what's wrong? Izuku lifted his eyes and saw Dabi was really asking. They called me Deku. I'm not a Deku. I'm not useless, Izuku whispered. Dabi's eyes hardened and he gritted his teeth. I know, kid. We'll be home soon. Izuku nodded and dutifully hid his face again. Aw, you upset the baby. Izuku distinctly heard one of Toga's knives coming out of her sheaths. I already have 2 samples, but a third would be a lovely addition. Izuku inhaled sharply at the noise he heard next, remembering the huge glacier. He looked up, eyes wide, to see Twice had advanced and then immediately had to dodge backwards away from the spreading ice with his tape measure in hand. That's hot, Twice exclaimed. Toga charged the 2 others who weren't Ice Boy, brandishing a single knife and little metal tubes flew at the brown-haired girl's face. I'm Toga, Ochako. She landed on Ochako and pinned her as she then threw her knife and it flew at the frog one, stabbing the knot of her hair and pinning the hero student to a tree. Toga's metal tubes then inserted themselves into the brown-haired girl's thigh. It has been 5 minutes since the signal. Izuku's head whipped around as he heard Kurogiri's voice. The hero students all freezing. Let us go, Dabi. Giri! Izuku exclaimed happily. Bye-bye, Ochako. We'll see each other again soon, Toga said as she stepped through the portal that spawned in next to her. Mustard went through with Magne and Twice jumped through another. Time to go, Squirt, Dabi said in his ear, and Izuku nodded. Compress and Dabi walked backwards through the gate, eyeing the students who had started to charge. Suddenly, Izuku cried out as a beam of blue sparkles smacked into Dabi's arm, and Izuku went tumbling to the ground. Izuku! Dabi's shout rang as Izuku rolled across the dirt. Izuku coughed as he pushed himself onto his elbows. Hey, Izuku coughed. That's so mean. Suddenly he was being pulled backwards into someone's arms. Let go, Izuku screamed. Hey, it's okay, it's me, it's Todoroki. The voice was soothing, if a little panicked, but Izuku could barely care. No, stop. Izuku struggled. Arms were around his waist, his back against the boy's stomach. Izuku, give him back, Dabi yelled. Izuku squirmed, making the boy holding him unable to use his hands for anything but restraining him, which Izuku assumed would make it harder for the boy to use whatever his quirk was. It involved ice. Izuku froze, but so did everyone else. Give back my youngest party member, or I'll decay every one of these heroes right in front of you. Tomora's voice was soft. deadly. Izuku looked up and saw Compress had released an unconscious Pixie Bob, Mandalay, and Ragdoll, and laid them at Tomura's feet. Where had he gotten Ragdoll? Mura, Izuku cried, reaching for Tomura uselessly as the hands holding him tightened. Please, please, let me go back to them. He saved me. How did he save you? The boy's voice asked a little breathlessly. That's what Tomura does. He saves people, Izuku tried to explain while still struggling. What Tomura is doing is so important. He wants to fix things. People are broken, and he helps them not be broken anymore. He saved me when I was all alone and scared, and he saved twice when he was falling apart. He saved Toga and Dabi from their past and gave them a new home. He saves people and he brings them together, and he's going to do it whether you like it or not. Izuku ranted, panting as he struggled. I want to go back. Please let me go back. I can't. The boy never finished his sentence, and Izuku realized why when he saw the portal open behind him and Magne's fist coming through it. His capture collapsed, releasing Izuku, who immediately stood and ran for Tomura. Mura, Izuku gasped out, and the man scooped him up into his arms. He vaguely noticed Compress marbling the heroes again. It's fine, Izuku. It's fine. Those heroes won't take you away. Izuku spat out the word, seething anger filling every void. I should kill all of you for touching Izuku. Deku, the brown-haired girl, stepped forward, only to be stopped by a weak and small trail of ice. Wait, the red and white boy was leaning up on his elbows, one eye shut and barely conscious. Shigaraki's quirk could kill him in a second. You heroes don't know anything, Tomura said almost wistfully as he clutched Izuku. Izuku put a hand over the one that covered Tomura's face, mimicking the position. He looked into Tomura's one visible eye, surprise in the deep crimson. Let's go back, Mura, Izuku said a little pleadingly. Let's go home. No one seemed to move. Hero students staring, and Tomura just wordlessly stepped backwards into the portal. Izuku sighed in relief. Safe. When he was put down on familiar hardwood floors, he was surprised to see not one, not two, but 3 people, 2 in chairs near the wall, one on the floor being scooped up and pressed into a chair by Spinner and Magne. Mura, did you ever learn to count? Izuku said, eyes not leaving the 3 captives. This is more than one. Dabi snickered, and Izuku turned to him with his arms raised. He scooped Izuku up and placed him on his lap as he sat on a bar stool. The girl is Mustard's fault, Dabi answered. He missed her while knocking out the surrounding kids, and she tried to resist when we grabbed Bakugo. Izuku blinked. The other one, Bakugo, Izuku interrupted. He saw orange in his vision and flashes and white and loud pops. He heard shoves and taunts and scrapes and burns. Izuku shrank into Dabi suddenly. Kachan, he murmured as Dabi's arms wrapped around him. I'm sure you know the other one, Dabi continued, stroking Izuku's hair. He stared at the 3rd captive, red and white hair clear as day. We grabbed him at the last moment for trying to take you away. Izuku nodded slowly. You called him... Izuku frowned. Todoroki Shoto? The boy inhaled sharply, but Izuku focused on Dabi. That's right, got 2nd place in the sports festival. His quirk is half cold, half hot. He can produce ice from one side and fire from the other. Izuku gasped in delight and turned to the boy with sparkles in his eyes. That's so cool. Izuku leaned forward, only being held in place by Dabi's warm arms. Can you switch which side you use each on? Can you make the fire blue? Can you make it black? Is the ice immune to your fire when you use it in combat? Or can it get in the way by melting at inconvenient times? Can you freeze an entire city solid with endless ice as long as you want your fire side to keep your temperature regulated? Does drinking water make your ice more effective? Can you produce fire even if there's no oxygen? Izuku gasped for breath, grinning in excitement. Breathe, Izuku, Tomura chided, taking a seat in the middle of the room, where they had put a stool there. When they had put a stool there? When had they put a stool there? I'm not sure the hero rat will let you try all your theories out. Izuku frowned. He got down from Dabi's lap to wander towards the prisoners. None of them were gagged, but none of them were talking either.